I met this couple, a guy and a girl, and they said, "Oh, we're from Perth. I said, "Oh, cool. What are you doing here?" "Oh, we're just holidaying. We race Porsches back in Perth. We've got a Porsche here." I said, "Cool." He goes, "What do you do?" And I said, "Oh," and this is when I just started DJing in the clubs, like emceeing on stage, master of ceremonies. It was like this flower that had been a closed thing that suddenly just opened up, had all this freedom. Consequences, what were they? And I hung out with this guy and I said, "Look, man, I can get you into any club in Adelaide. No worries. Easy done." Now, this guy was fast talking. He was slick. He had heaps of money. He was going, "Cool, man, which nightclub?" I said, "Heaven. We'll go to the Heaven nightclub." Got to the bar. He pulls out a roll of cash. All these chicks are hanging around him. He's just smooth. He had awesome clothes. He goes, "Mate, here's a roll of cash. Go buy yourself and the ladies a drink." And I'm like, "Cool." And we hung out. So we got to know each other and we got on really well. It wasn't till one day he said, "Man, if you want to make some cash, I'll help you." I'm like, "Yeah, cool. I'm in, ready to go." And I started feeling like a, tough man.
Yeah.
This thing that wasn't me. So we did a couple of things, and I don't want to incriminate myself, but made a bit of cash from it, and then we'd make other cash here and there. Went to the airport one day, the Adelaide airport. I was to hire a car. We were going to drive to Melbourne and we're going to do some business. I remember the time he walked up to me and I'll say his name, Jake. And I'll say his last name because I haven't been able to find him anywhere on the net, Jake Kaznowski. He came up to me and he says, "Bro, I've got to go." I'm like, "What?" I'm standing at the airport ready to get a hire car and we're going to go to Melbourne and drive it to Melbourne. I said, "Oh, okay, cool." And he took off and there were people walking around the airport and I thought, well, maybe I should leave too because I feel something funny's going on here.
Yeah.
And I started walking towards the big doors that open up to the airport. As I walked out the big doors, next minute from behind me, I got grabbed from behind, hardcore, put in a headlock basically around my neck, and these cars were just screeching in front of me. And I'm like in shock, like as you can imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. I knew I thought your brain's computing at this moment.
Something's not quite right.
Something's not right.
Yeah.
And the cars pulled up, guns came out, and I got thrown across the bonnet, the front bonnet, held down, my face smashed into the bonnet. That was fantastic. And then handcuffed and thrown in the back of the car. And I had these people in suits, like this woman screaming at me, going, "Where the fuck is Jake? You are fucked, mate. You're going away for a long time, buddy." And for the first time I felt scared. It was like, my God, like what have I got myself into? And then we pulled up to a phone box. They held the phone to my ear. They said, "Ring his number," because we had mobiles back then, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Rung his number. He answered his mobile phone and he goes, "They've got you, haven't they?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Tell them a fucking Pizza Hut right on the main road, Henley Road." I'm like, "Okay, all right, see you, bro." He goes, "Bye." He's at Pizza Hut, Henley Road. And they go, all units. Well, it just went madhouse. To cut a long story short, he ended up on the TV show on Channel 7, Australia's Most Wanted. And this was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
He was one of the most wanted men in Australia, con men, attempted murder of a police officer, fraud, and a whole host of scallywag behaviour.
Yeah.
As Chopper says.
It's got a rap sheet, yeah.
It's got a rap sheet. So, I didn't know the extent of what this guy was up to, but I got drawn in by his personality and I guess the making money and the rush that you would get from all that kind of stuff. It was...
Well, you're vulnerable and impressionable. That's
I was.
what they sort of target though, right?
Yeah. Well, the detective knew it. Like I got locked up.
Yeah.
I didn't go to jail.
They were trying the scare tactics on you to get you to give up any information on your mate.
Yeah. Well, like I was in the cell in Adelaide, the main sort of lock-up area, and I'll admit it, I was crying. I was fucking scared. I thought, man, I don't know what's happening to me. I was going to jail or something, and the detective came in and said, listen, mate, whatever you're doing, we're aware of, and this life isn't for you. Do you really want to be there? Do you really want to go to jail, mate? Because I know that the guy that you've dealt with is one of the most influential con men in the country, and he's wanted all over the country. Is this the life you want to live? And I remember just going, no, like I don't want to be like this. And he goes, that's all right. Yeah, we don't want to put you in jail, but you need to talk to us. And it was fucking frightening, mate. Like I was, so, and this, I'll say that this went on for months with Jake, and things that I regret doing that, I never hurt anyone. But it's amazing how you can get caught up in interesting crime figures. Yeah. And that's what he was. And I guess the whole point is acting. When I get chosen for these roles, it's more than just I get to play it again. I get to relive it in some way. So when I do what I do, I feel honoured. When someone says, you want to play that guy? It's like I'm reliving the past. Yeah. But not in a traumatic way. It's like it's a past I'll never go back to. Yeah. But I get to do it again.